Oh, I think it's working. Hi, this is Jen. 9 o'clock. So I was going to be reading Mary Oliver poems, and I decided, I was looking out my window, one of my windows here in the treehouse, and thought, I think Mary Oliver needs to be read in the daytime, perhaps the morning, outside, on a sunny day. So I've switched, and I'm gonna read some poems by Antonio Machado. Some might say Machado. These are translations by Robert Bly, and the book is called Times Alone. I'm not reading by candlelight. I've just got the lights dimmed and the dear computer screen helping me see because I'm old. So anyway, Mary Oliver will come another day when it's light out. So if you're not familiar with Antonio's poems, you ought to be, because he was born in 1875, July 26th, in Seville, and the poems in this book were published in the early 1900s, and he is, as some people would describe him, let's see. Antonio Machado is the most thoughtful, modest, and lovable poet of the 20th century. And I don't know, there's something about that I agree with, actually, because there is such a sweetness and a gentleness to this man. So anyway, I've picked out a bunch to read. Some are very short. He wrote not too long. His poems mostly weren't too long, but he also wrote almost little haiku-esque micro poems, and we'll read a few of those towards the end, in various places. I got a lot marked off. Look at that. So this might take maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. He rarely gave his poems titles, by the way. I listen to the songs in such old meters that the children sing when they play together. They pour out in choirs their dreamy souls as the stone fountains pour out their waters. There is eternal merriment, a bit monotonous, not really joyful, and grief very ancient, not really serious. They pour out sad songs, sad things about love and tales from the past. On the children's lips, as they sing, the history is tangled, but the pain is clear. So the clear water tells its garbled tale of loves long ago that never gets said. Playing in the shadows of the ancient square, the children go on singing. The stone fountain was pouring out its eternal fountain of story. The children were singing their innocent songs of something which is in motion yet never arrives. The history is tangled, but the pain is clear. The peaceable fountain continues telling its things. The history lost. The pain has found words. Some of his poems have a bit of melancholy in there, but anyway, which is fine, of course. The clock struck 12 times. It was a spade knocked 12 times against the earth. "It's my turn," I cried. The silence answered me. "Do not be afraid. You will never see the last drop fall that now is trembling in the water clock. You will still sleep many hours here on the beach. And one clear morning, you will find your boat tied to another shore. Just got to make sure I can see. Sorry. Let's see. So this poem inspired one of the kids' songs I sang this afternoon. You can find it on my Facebook timeline. Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, marvelous error, that a spring was breaking out in my heart. I said, along which secret aqueduct, O water, are you coming to me, water of new life that I have never drunk? Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, marvelous error, that I had a beehive here inside my heart, and the golden bees were making white combs of sweet honey from my old failures. Last night, as I was dreaming, I dreamt, marvelous error, that a fiery sun was giving light inside my heart. It was fiery because I felt warmth as from a hearth, and sun because it gave light and brought tears to my eyes. Last night, as I slept, I dreamt, marvelous error, that it was God I had here inside my heart. Is my soul asleep? Have those beehives that labor at night stopped? And the water wheel of thought, is it dry, cups empty, wheeling, carrying only shadows? No, my soul is not asleep. It is awake, wide awake. It neither sleeps nor dreams, but watches, its clear eyes open, far off things, and listens at the shores of the great silence. From the doorsill of a dream, they called my name. It was the good voice, the voice I loved so much. Listen, will you go with me to visit the soul? A soft stroke reached up to my heart. With you always. And in my dream I walked down a long and solitary corridor, aware of the touching of the pure robe and the soft beating of blood in the hand that loved me. It doesn't matter now if the golden wine floats abundantly in your crystal cup, or if the bitter juice clouds the pure glass. You know the secret passageways of the soul, the roads that dreams take, and the calm evening where they go to die. There, the good and silent spirits of life are waiting for you. And one day, they will carry you to a garden of eternal spring. The wind, one brilliant day, called to my soul with an aroma of jasmine, In return for this jasmine odor, I'd like all the odor of your roses. I have no roses. I have no flowers left now in my garden. All are dead. Then I'll take the waters of the fountains and the yellow leaves and the dried up petals. The wind left, and I wept. I said to my soul, what have you done with the garden entrusted to you? In our souls, everything moves, guided by a mysterious hand. We know nothing of our own souls that are ununderstandable and say nothing. The deepest words of the wise man teach us the same as the whistle of the wind when it blows, or the sound of the water when it is flowing. It's possible that while sleeping, the hand that sows the seeds of stars started the ancient music going again, like a note from a great harp, and the frail wave came to our lips as one or two honest words. You can know yourself if you bring up those cloudy canvases from your dreams today, this day, when you walk awake, open-eyed. Memory is valuable for one thing, astonishing. It brings dreams back. I never wanted fame, nor wanted to leave my poems behind in the memory of men. I love the subtle worlds, delicate, almost without weight, like soap bubbles. I enjoy seeing them take the color of sunlight and scarlet, float in the blue sky, then suddenly quiver and break. Why should we call these accidental furrows roads? Everyone who moves on walks like Jesus on the sea. Let us sing together. No, K-N-O-W, by the way. We know nothing. We come from a hidden ocean and go to an unknown ocean. And between those two mysteries, there is a third serious puzzle. One key we know nothing of locks 3 chests. The light illuminates nothing, and the wise man teaches nothing. What does human language say? What does the water in the rock say? Make sure the light stays on. Thanks. All things die, and all things live forever. But our task is to die making roads, roads over the sea. Mankind owns 4 things that are no good at sea: rudder, anchor, oars, and the fear of going down. The blue mountain, the river, the firm coppery twigs on the slender poplars, and the white of the almond tree on the hill. O snow and the blossom, and the butterfly in the tree, carrying the aroma of the bean fields, the wind runs through the joyful solitude of the fields. The train moves through the Guadarrama one night on the way to Madrid. The moon and the fog create high up a rainbow. O April moon, so calm, driving the white clouds. The mother holds her boy, sleeping on her lap. The boy sleeps, and nevertheless sees the green fields outside, and trees lit up by the sun, and the golden butterflies. The mother, her forehead dark between a day gone and a day to come, sees a fire nearly out and an oven with spiders. There's a traveler mad with grief, no doubt seeing odd things. He talks to himself, and when he looks, wipes us out with his look. I remember fields under snow, and pine trees of other mountains, and you, Lord, through whom we all have eyes, and who sees souls. Tell us if we will all one day see your face. Spring has arrived. Snow-white hallelujahs from the flowering blackberry bushes. In words of love, a tiny bit of exaggeration feels right. The eye you see is not an eye because you see it. It is an eye because it sees you. To talk with someone, ask a question first, then listen. But look in your mirror for the other one who walks by your side. Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it. Look for your other self, who walks always next to you and tends to be what you aren't. In my solitude, I have seen things very clearly that were not true. Sing on, sing on, sing on, the cricket in his cage near his darling tomato. Wake up, you poets, let echoes end and voices begin. Don't hunt for dissonance, because in the end there is no dissonance. When the sound is heard, people dance. I thought my fire was out and stirred the ashes. I burnt my fingers. Right, actually, sorry. Okay, this is the last one. Today, as once before, the dream lets down its stone stairs into the deep and violet ocean, and the child's sailboat makes its way as the dolphin of silver and bronze leaps out. Heroic acts and adventures hover around the fearful soul. Cliffs of impenetrable rock send back my voice, echo after echo. How marvelous to lie back on the blue air, as the eagle lies back on the wind, over the cold peaks, certain of his wings and his breath. What I ask from you, nature, is a deeply interfused confidence and peace, a reprieve from fear and from hope, a sand grain of joy, an ocean of oblivion. Well, I hope you liked those. I don't know, I find them very comforting and sweet and deep and mysterious. Antonio Machado, I'm not sure, somebody help me. Anyway, the book Times Alone, translated by Robert Bly. I hope you're doing all right in these strange times. And tomorrow, at 11 a.m., I'm going to do another Jen the Fairy Trans Mother story time. It's going to be about monsters, but monsters that kids will be okay with, I think. And I'm going to brave grocery shopping at 9 a.m. because I haven't shopped in a while. And then at 3 o'clock tomorrow, I will be reading poetry for kids instead of singing this time. And then tomorrow night at 9, instead of reading you poetry, I will be reading you a couple monster stories. Okay. Take care, loves. Tinker-tea-tonk.